Our fan appreciation night started with the JB Auto Works Crown Victorious roaring into turn number 1, with Josh Harris, Keith McMurray, and Tyler Conway rounding out the top 3. As Josh Harris pulled away, McMurray and Conway fought for second. A battle that lasted multiple laps before McMurray gained the advantage. As McMurray chased down our leader, both drivers hit their marks, but it was Josh Harris taking another victory in 2025. The RCR Late Model started with Zeke Shell leading the returning Keith Helton and Brad Housewright, who would quickly dive under Helton for second. And ever the long memory on these drivers, they didn't get away without a little bit of contact. Outside the top 3, Bruce Crumbly, Derek Lane, and Brad Teague battled for position as Housewright chased down our leader. Further back, Teague and Lane battled for position, with Teague gaining the 4th spot with a little help from lap traffic. However, nothing could stop Zeke Shell as he took the checkered flag for another victory in 2025. The JB Towing Pier Force had Stephen Watts lead from the start as last week's winner David Animal Trent started making moves for position, a battle with Kenny Absher and Terry Welch that would last multiple laps. Eventually turning into a 4-car battle for third, with Nasty Jones the number 1 taking point over Morlock, Absher, and Animal, but the number 29 would soon see an opportunity to move by Nasty Jones as Absher briefly took them 3 wide, resulting in contact with the 29. Absher later battled a loose race car, with Animal making contact as the number 11 slid through the corner. This formed into a 3-wide scenario as Terry Welch held the outside line. That is until a short time later when the 34 spun out on his own in turn number 1 and a car further back spun to avoid hitting him. The restart had trouble immediately as the number 11 and 38 made contact, putting us under caution again. The next restart had Watts continuing to lead as Animal fought for a top 3 spot with Dallas Morlock and the number 09 of Frank Womack. The battle lasted for multiple laps side by side before Animal wrestled the 3rd spot away. Next it was on to second, and Animal wasted no time challenging and overtaking the number 29. As Animal led the 3-car battle for second, Stephen Watts led the race to the checkered flag, with our points leader claiming another win. The Quality Heat and Air Mod 4 saw Chris Ambergy start from the pole as points leader Kevin Canner instantly made moves from the back. At the front, Ambergy led Rocky Yates. Yates would eventually have an opportunity to strike as they caught lap traffic, but the 17 held on strong until the 16 would spin out, putting us under caution. The restart saw Canner quickly muscle second place away from Rocky Yates and chase down the number 17. But try as he might, Canner could not catch Ambergy, who would take his first win of 2025 after the caution flew on the final lap of the race. The Herd's Mowing Street Stocks had Rusty Clendenin lead them to green, as a 3-car battle between the number 27, the number 0 question mark of Daniel McMurray, and the number 25 of Rob Austin quickly took center stage. But a strong Clendenin would gradually pull away from McMurray and a very loose Rob Austin. A multi-lap battle would unfold, with Austin making multiple attempts to get by McMurray before getting a little help from lap traffic. As they fought for second, Clendenin held the lead and took the checkered flag for another win in 2025. The second twin for our RCR late models had Bruce Crumbly leading Derek Lane and Keith Helton, who made quick work of the number 12 of Darren Silver as Housewright and Shell followed through. A four-car battle for second ensued, with Keith Helton fighting Derek Lane's number 28 as Helton eventually moved through. So did Housewright and Shell. The trio would soon catch up to Bruce Crumbly, with all four fighting for the top spot. Some synchronized sliding through turn 4 saw no calm in the storm, with one battle splitting into two. Zeke Shell challenged Housewright, while Keith Helton challenged a sliding Bruce Crumbly to take the lead. Shell fought with the number 33, eventually handing him off to the number 88. At the front, it was the number 29 versus the number 1 in a multi-lap battle. Bumpers banging and paint trading as they navigated lap traffic before too much contact sent Keith Helton spinning in turn 3. Housewright took the lead on the restart, but the caution came out almost immediately after Zeke Shell and Darren Silver made contact, sending the 12 a little too close for comfort to the wall. Housewright held the lead once more as Shell quickly moved into second. As the two fought during the closing laps of the race, Shell could catch him, but he couldn't pass him as Brad Housewright took his second victory of 2025. The Barnes brothers led our herds mowing super streets, racing side by side with Austin Walters on the outside looking in. Soon you could throw a blanket under the top three, with Kyle Barnes in the number 00 leading the train, but a loose race car would plague Barnes for the entirety of the race, opening the door for his brother Tristan to take the lead. As Kyle and Walters fought, Tristan continued to lead, but soon Kyle would pull away from Walters to challenge his brother. The multi-lap battle seemed to give Tristan the advantage until lap traffic gave Kyle the opportunity to squeeze by his brother and take the lead, and ultimately the checkered flag. The JB Towing stock front-wheel drives had a very clustered start, with contact being made all around. Before the dust could even settle, the caution flew between the number 9 of Roger Wright and the number 17 of Chip Mooney. The restart had Jackson Crawford in the number 0 pull away, while further behind, Dakota Collins in the number 22 and Joshua Collins in the number 42 started making moves. But the caution would fly after the number 44 made contact with the wall in the middle of turns 3 and 4. The restart was much of the same, with Crawford pulling away and carnage happening behind as the number 00 and number 5 made contact, nearly resulting in a wreck and leaving the number 5's rear bumper hanging on by a pop ribbon. As the number 0 crossed the line first, the contact led to a bird and an argument in the pits. The race would further be complicated by post-race disqualifications, which saw the top 3 penalized, resulting in a win for the previously 4th place finisher of Roger Wright. Here's the results for the rest of the divisions, and as always, thank you for supporting Kingsport Speedway and your local short track, and make sure to like and subscribe.